Hey y'all, Gregg Marcel Dixon here, candidate for South Carolina Congressional District 6. In our last video, we talked about how reparations is not a payment from white Americans to black Americans. We talked about how the federal government definitely can afford to pay black Americans reparations in the same way they did for Japanese Americans, Native Americans, and how they are doing for Ukrainians right now as we speak. We talked about how the American government can never run out of money. In this video here, we're going to talk about the concerns of those who ask themselves, well, what about debt? What about the deficit? Here is the truth. The American government is not like us. The American government does not get its money from taxes. If I have a $20 bill to pay, but only have $10, I have to go and find a way to raise those $10. That is not the case with the American government. The American government is a monetary sovereign. As discussed in the last video, they can create their own currency. When they choose not to, we call that debt. But what that really is are called U.S. Treasury bonds. They're called yellow dollars. They're about the same color as this coat I am wearing. And what happens with those U.S. Treasury bonds is that banks can buy them, other countries can buy them. And what the American government does is they pay interest on those yellow dollars. And without those U.S. Treasury bonds, we would not have banks. We would not have credit unions because they buy those treasury bonds from the government and the government pays them interest. But at any time, the government can take those yellow dollars and give them green dollars that we use to pay for our groceries and to pay our bills. So that is not the same for the American government as it is for us. It simply refers to the amount of yellow dollars in the economy. And the American government, anytime it wants, can replace those yellow dollars with green dollars. So this whole thing about debt is just a way that a lot of politicians, Republicans and Democrats, and yes, I said Democrats, and yes, I'm running as a Democrat, but they do this too. It's a way they used, a mechanism they use to scare us from paying for good policies that this government definitely can't afford. And reparations is one of them. Now, you might be saying, well, why should I care about reparations? I never owned anyone that was enslaved. Tune in for the next video coming your way. Until then, Gregg Marcel Dixon. To learn more, go to Marcel for Congress. Take care.